one self-defense skill to save your life. Now I'm talking about picking something up and throwing it at a threat. In this case, we're going to start talking about the tennis ball. Now you're not going to throw this tennis ball at the threat and do anything with it, but this is how you should practice. It doesn't matter what kind of tennis ball. It doesn't even have to be a tennis ball, but it should be something that would bounce back so that it can make your practice go a little bit faster. What I have you do is put a dot on the wall, some kind of a target, and I don't want you to start close. It's just like if we were on the range and we were starting here, we're going to start close, and then we're going to develop accuracy. We're going to slowly back up. So we're going to start very close, maybe 5-10 feet away, and you're going to throw with your right hand, and you're going to throw that over and over again. You're going to do that for about 30 seconds. Then you're going to put it in your other hand. This is extremely important. It doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. You're going to throw with one hand for about 30 seconds, and then you're going to throw with your non-dominant hand for another 30 seconds. And then you're going to do that 2 or 3 times, and then let your brain rest, go away from it, come back the next day or a couple days later, pick it up again. The whole practice should maybe take, 2 or 3 minutes a day, spread out over a period of weeks. You'll be able to pick up another ball, a heavier ball, and then, like I like to go to a baseball when we train. Libertarian Mind is here. It's good to see you. I go for a baseball. Baseball is much heavier. Now you're throwing the baseball. It's still going to bounce back so that you can pick it up. And again, you're going to start close. You're going to make sure you're accurate. Throwing it 30 seconds with your dominant hand. Pick it up, throw it 30 seconds with your non-dominant hand. Your neural pathways in your brain are going to start to come in alignment, and you're going to get great, incredible accuracy. Stuart, thank you so much for that super sticker. I really appreciate that. So you start tennis ball and you're throwing 30 seconds, and then again 2 or 3 sets. It should take no more than a couple minutes a day. Over a short period of time, you're going to find that your accuracy, picking something up and throwing it at a target, is going to improve dramatically, no matter how good you've thrown something in the past or how not good you've been throwing. True Human Experiences here says, greetings from South Africa. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you. This is a skill you can use anywhere in the world. It's one of the original self-defense tools, because what we're eventually doing is we're working ourselves up to something that's hard and dense. Now, this is a small stone, but you can do a lot with a small stone if you can hit your target with it with speed, power, and accuracy. And it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, you can improve your strength. Stuart's here. Hey, Stuart, good to see you. Thank you again for that super chat. I appreciate that. We'll see you later when you come back. But throwing something like this can be very effective, either to distract somebody. Eric's here. Hey, Eric, good to see you. Imagine somebody comes in and they have one of these. Now, I'm not saying, fight somebody who's got a gun with a handful of rocks, but if you don't have any other choice and you need to either distract them so that you can try to get away, or he's coming in, there's nowhere for you to run, and you need to throw something at him, you want to be able to hit him with it. You want to hit him with it as hard and as fast as possible. And so I have you think about, like, all the things in your environment. When we go to the grocery store, you've got cans, you've got jars, you have heavy things everywhere. There are rocks all over the place. Charlie's here. Good to see you, Charlie. Rocks in the environment, from landscaping. Maybe you're outside going for a hike. There's a lot of rocks. In our landscaping here, we have 3 kinds of rocks. We have these hard, extremely dense, jagged rocks that will scratch, that will cut an eye, that can break his glasses, that will knock him back a little bit. Then we have these heavier, smooth river rocks that are bigger, so it's a little bit bigger, so more weight, and this can cause a little bit more damage for self-defense. And then we have these nice, big, baseball-sized rocks that will probably break bone. It'll break his nose. It'll smash the teeth down his throat. It could be a fatal strike if you hit him in the right spot for self-defense. And so this might be the one thing that saves your life. So this one self-defense skill that people neglect all the time, because when we're little kids, we like to throw. I've been throwing a lot. Every morning my son says, Dad, we throw the ball. He's getting ready. He wants to play baseball. So we're throwing the baseball in the morning, we're throwing the baseball in the evening. And I have him, and he's extremely accurate for a little kid. And it's because since he was a little kid, we've been throwing right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. He can throw the ball wherever he wants it to. I can throw it. I can hit anything that I aim at. maybe 2 or 3 rocks, I'm going to hit my target. And you can even think of it in terms of if you were hungry and there's a bird, you can't catch it, or there's a bunny rabbit, you're hungry, you can't catch it, it's too fast, but you can pick up a rock. And if you have great power and accuracy in your throw because you've trained, and again, just a couple minutes a day, 30 seconds right hand, 30 seconds left hand, put a dot on the wall, start hands, then take a step back. Consistently hitting it. Once there's a thing, diminishing return, the point of diminishing returns, that means after a while you'll throw it and your accuracy starts to fall. That's when you're done. Just 2-3 minutes later, take a break, come back to it a couple days later, you'll be shocked. You'll shock yourself at how accurate you are 2 or 3 days later, because when you go to sleep, the neural pathways that you carved in your brain from the throwing right hand, left hand, they start to scab over, heal over, whatever the proper term is. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a neuroscientist, but I've understood that when your brain has time to rest and you go back to something difficult, I've done this my whole life, then you have better skill. You're gonna be so surprised. So a few days later, you pick it up, right hand, 30 seconds, left hand, take a step back as you improve your accuracy. And you don't have to be throwing it, 25, 50 feet away. If you're that far away, run, get out of there, evade. They say run or, evade, deny, and then fight. Run, hide, fight, it's the same thing. Evade, deny, fight. But when you're ready to fight, you have to pick something up. And because you practiced tennis ball first, and the reason that I have you go to a baseball is baseball's heavier, but it still bounces. So just don't throw, if I throw this inside on that paperboard wall, what do we call that? The plasterboard or whatever, it's gonna put a dent in it. But most of the side of my house is all brick, so I can throw it at that and it's gonna bounce back. So you can find a place to throw that, bounce back. Better yet, if you have a kid to throw it with, practice throwing right hand, practice throwing left hand, improve your accuracy, improve the speed that you throw, and get really good with a heavy baseball or a heavier baseball. And then when you need to, you pick up a rock, you pick up a can of beans, you pick up a jar of pickles, wherever you are in your environment. When you go in, you should be looking for exits, like in a restaurant or whatever, but also look around you. What can you pick up? Some restaurants have nice heavy coffee cups. Some have nice heavy glassware. Whatever you can pick up and throw to stop someone from taking your life in self-defense, you're gonna be effective because you practiced throwing. So this one self-defense skill could save your life. It's very real. Think about how ancient this is. Somebody throwing things. The very first in the Bible, smashing someone with a rock, Cain and Abel, right? Back in Genesis, the beginning of the Bible, and then later David with a sling, throwing it at Goliath, the giant, a smooth river rock, and breaking his brain or whatever, cracking his skull. So it's a very ancient self-defense tool. But if you master this one self-defense skill that could save your life, you can pick anything up and defend yourself. So put in the comment section below, what do you think about throwing as a self-defense skill? I know a lot of people don't talk about it. I always taught it. I taught it to all my black belts. And we started to move into practical self-defense, what I call dirty fighting, when we talk about the difference between sport karate or sport fighting and what actually works for self-defense. It's totally two different things. But throwing was always a big thing. A lot of kids in schools have those heavy lockers, the master locks on their lockers in the hallway or in the gym. That's nice and heavy. That's something you can throw. So there are all kinds of things that you can throw in self-defense. Flip, put in the comment section, what do you think about it? And then give us some ideas. What do you have in your environment? If you develop the skill, the one self-defense skill that could save your life, this throwing, you get good at it. What do you have in your daily environment? Do you have rocks like I do? Around my campuses where I am all day long, I always have 3 kinds of stones. I have the little sharp jagged ones that are very dense. I have these extremely dense river rocks that are smooth and easy to throw, fun to throw. And I have these big chunky white rocks. I have no idea what kind of rock that is, but I do know that that would break a skull for self-defense. That's very effective. If I chuck this at somebody with accuracy and smash them in the face, I'm gonna slow them down at least for self-defense. Flip says, what if you run out of things to throw? Throw your shoe, right? Just like they did at George Bush all those years ago. Pick up your, I don't know. If you run out of things to throw, you're gonna have to go hand to hand, or hopefully you've got a stick. If you got a stick, that's even better. You can throw a stick, you can throw a knife. If you can throw a knife, you can throw a stick. So maybe we'll do that next time. We'll talk about practicing throwing these, because that's another self-defense skill that could save your life. But start with this one. Get really good at throwing this. This will be easy to throw if you can throw these. There's a little bit more skill involved in this, but not a lot. It's a lot of the same principles, and your accuracy will be fantastic when you throw right hand and left hand. Don't neglect your weak hand, and you're gonna stink at it at first. You're gonna pick up that ball, you're gonna put your dot, you're gonna go close, you're gonna throw it, you're gonna feel really good about throwing it with your strong hand, your dominant hand. Then you're gonna put it in your other hand and you're gonna throw it. You're gonna feel like an idiot because it doesn't go where you want it to go. But don't give up on yourself. Don't let your ego get in the way because you can't do it. Give yourself time, give yourself grace, practice it every day or every other day for 4 weeks. And I promise you, yeah, Charlie says run. If you run out of things to throw, run. If you can, take off down the street. But if you can't, and we say that, we say evade, that means get out of there, that's the run. Deny, that means lock the doors, get behind the doors, hide somewhere. And then we say fight. It's either run, hide, fight, or it's evade, deny, fight. But it always comes back to fight if you have no other choice. And just think about what could you fight with. Pick things up. And if it's throwing things at first and you have great accuracy, great aim, and great power because you practiced, you're gonna be far better off. It's about making yourself harder to hurt than everybody else, giving yourself that self-defense skill. So put in the comment section below, what do you think about throwing as the one self-defense skill that you could master that might save your life? And if so, if you agree with that, or if you don't agree with it, put that in there too. But if you agree with that, what do you have? What do you find in your daily routine that you could pick up and throw? In my office, in addition to these rocks, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, Flip says never thought about throwing, but throwing is, I mean, it's one of the most ancient skills, life skills that we have. And imagine how, the first very hungry person, whether it was I don't know, Neanderthal or whatever they want to call them, who picked up a rock and threw it and smashed a bird out of a tree or off the ground or hit a bunny rabbit or whatever else was running around, a lizard, and then walked over and he had some dinner. And that's where this all comes from. And then at some point he thought, that guy that keeps coming over here taking my rabbit, I'm gonna throw this rock at him next time. Maybe that's how it started, I don't know. Put in the comment section if you have a theory about that too. But practice with this, put the dot on the wall.